our shit together.
Yes, I do the cooking, yes, I do the cleaning. Plus, I keep the nana real sweet for you eat.
Bad Moms. Now, Bad Moms is a comedy written by the same guys that wrote the Hangover series. And I consider the Hangover series to be some of the funny comedies of my generation. I enjoy the whole trilogy immensely, so I had high expectations that they could deliver again and hopefully recapture the magic, also not only in script form but also in casting and character form. Because a character on a page can only be so good. It's the characters that bring it to life, such like the Hangover movies. Like Zach Galifianakis and Bradley Cooper and Ed Helms. I don't know if that movie would have been what it is without those guys in those roles, and they become so synonymous with those roles that it's almost like those roles they were born to play. So here we have Bad Moms, and you know my stance on comedies is I have to laugh. And so did I laugh? This movie is hysterically funny, guys. At the end of the year, I think it's going to come down to wrestling with, was Deadpool funnier or was Bad Moms funnier? And basically, this kind of depends on your sense of humor for the most part, but that's the level I'm ranking this kind of humor at. Now, there's been some comedies like Ghostbusters and whatnot where I chuckle throughout, but this one, I laughed like one of those deadpan laughs. You're just like, you wish you had a pause button to pause the movie because I need to get this laugh out of my system before we move on to the next one, because I want to catch the next one. I don't want to miss it because I know it's going to be just as funny. And, I want to have a little bit of air to breathe and not spit up my popcorn at the same time. So this movie was extremely funny. So if you're in for a comedy, an R-rated comedy at that, don't make any misconceptions if you think this movie is PG-13. If you've only seen the PG-13 trailers, there's a Red Band trailer. It's the trailer that I use there in the intro. There's a lot of F-bombs. There's a lot of dirty jokes. So if that's your cup of tea, like me, like the Hangover movies, then you're going to have a great time with this movie. If you're more of a family-friendly comedy, then this movie's you're going to walk out in the first 5 minutes. So I said that, like with the Hangover series, that casting also made a big part. And the casting of this movie played a huge part, as each of these three ladies, I'm talking about Mila Kunis, who plays Amy, who catches her husband kind of cheating on her. He's doing the whole internet porn thing, the cyber sex deal. So she throws him out of the house. So that's the journey that she's going on. So she's about to go through a divorce because of this. And then you have Katherine Hines' character who plays Carla, and she's a single mom as well. And Katherine Hine in this role is just unstoppable. She is a beast, a force to be reckoned with. There's nothing she won't say, there's nothing she won't do, and she is a scene stealer every time that she's on screen. You never know what she's going to do, what she's going to say, how far she's going to push it, and you just want more of her. She's that kind of role. And then you have Kristen Bell. Who doesn't like a little bit of Kristen Bell? She plays Kiki. She's like the stay-at-home mom who has the 4 kids, and the kids are abusive to her, and the husband's kind of unruly to her, and just expects her to do everything. So you have 3 different moms coming at motherhood from 3 different versions of how their relationship isn't going quite as well as picturesque, less they'll say. So you have all these characters, and they come together because they're just sick and tired of it all. In a world where you try so hard, and no matter how hard you try, you're never going to be the perfect mom, and your kids are never going to respect you until it comes later down the line, and they realize you did the best that you could. So they're just saying, just basically, F it. We're doing the best we can, but let's have a little bit of fun. There's got to be some time for ourselves. So they kind of say, stick it to the PTA meetings and these rules and that rule and deadlines, and their jobs aren't going so well, so they're just tired of it all. So they just kind of go out and have a little bit of fun. And who doesn't want to see these characters have a little bit of fun? They are hysterical all the way through, all 3 of them, and you can tell the chemistry between the characters is perfect. Just like the Hangover movies, they cast 3 great women who really, you can tell, enjoy working together. I've seen like Kristen Bell in other movies, and she's just kind of playing a character, but she looks like she's legitimately having fun in this one, and that's what you want. And they're having fun, so you're going to have fun, because you're going to invest in these characters when it seems like they're really inhabiting these characters. So you get to take on this journey of sort of the Hangover-ish, where there's a lot of partying, there's a lot of drinking, there's a lot of swearing, and that's my type of humor, so I thought this movie was fantastic. You have Christina Applegate running the head of the PTO, who is our villain, and she is a mean villain in this movie. She does some mean street stuff, like planting drugs in the kid's locker for Mila Kunis' character because she wants to get the kid kicked off the soccer team, because ultimately Mila Kunis, who is tired of all these rules, they've been put in place more so by the PTA director, Christina Applegate, who plays Gwendolyn. So she's going to run against her for PTO president and change all the rules. And so Christine Applegate does these sort of unruly acts to try and get at Mila Kunis's character, and they're downright dirty at times, but in the end, of course, we're all one big happy family as we learn that Christine Applegate is just kind of playing the role of the perfect mom that she claims to be, but her life is just as messed up as everyone else's, so she turns kind of into a bad mom at the end, spoiler alert. We also have some fun sprinkled characters in there. We got Clark Duke, we got Jada Pinkett Smith, who I don't normally like, and I think that's because of her role on Gotham, but she was good in this movie. We had Wanda Sykes in there. She plays a therapist, so Mila Kunis and her husband try to go to therapy, and that's when they realize it is definitely not working, and they need to go other ways. So we got Wanda Sykes in there. So you got some other fun roles to fill, and that's cool when you have like side characters in it for 2 minutes, but then you can get these comedy figures or these powerhouse actors. Because even though I don't like Jada Pinkett Smith, you can't argue that she's not a powerhouse actress. So when you get supporting roles filled by these really good actors, and they're having fun, and everyone's having fun, then it makes that much more of chemistry and atmosphere, and you're having fun as the audience. So, like I said, the comedy's spot on. You're gonna laugh your ass off. They're jokes galore. They're dirty jokes. There's always time for a dick joke, apparently. So if that's not your cup of tea, like I said, don't go watch this one. The chemistry of the characters is awesome. And one thing that they particularly do in this movie that I enjoy a lot is I like when movies kind of do something fun with the credits, because the credits are just kind of there. And we've all done, now everyone does the post-credits scene, so we're all just accustomed to staying after the movies. Like Bad Moms is like an example of a movie, like they wouldn't just put something at the end of the credits. But, I mean, I consider the credits to be part of the movies. I do believe they are part of the runtime of the movies, so you're supposed to watch them. So at least do something fun with them. And this one, they're interviewing the cast, and each of them are with their mom, and they're telling fun stories of when they were raising their kids or the actor. So yeah, like Mila Kunis's character, or no, I guess not a character. It's Mila Kunis and her real life mom talking about when they came over from Russia, and so you got all the Kristen Bell and her mom, and Jada Pinkett Smith and her mom, and so they're just telling funny stories about how they did things as a kid or what the child did as when they were younger. So I mean that's exciting. Be original. Every movie should take the chance to be original and do something unique. And I've never seen that in a movie before. And even the moms, you can see where some of these ladies get their humor from, because it definitely comes from the motherhood, or the apple fell straight down and didn't even roll away from the tree. So actually, some of the moms are quite funny too. So if you like The Hangover, it's got a very similar structure with the three characters. You can see elements of the same three characters in the characters of The Hangover, three being the greatest number in a comedy to base your comedy off of. When you have any type of story, you need the three characters, and you want to make them each enough different so they can, when they interact with each other, that's what brings the comedy out of it. It's situational, as if you have two people that are exactly the same, you're not going to get much comedy. But if you have the straight-laced person, that's kind of Mila Kunis's character, and then you have the quiet, conservative one of Kristen Bell, and then you have the extreme Katherine Hines character, when they all interact, they all bring out elements of each other. The only thing I didn't buy in this movie, like this is the nitpicking thing that reviewers tend to do, but there's a scene where they're in a club, and they all go out, and it's Mila Kunis's first time out in forever. She married her high school sweetheart, so she's only ever been with one man, and she wants to get laid. So the ladies are helping her, and so she goes around and tries to introduce herself to all these guys, and she ends up messing it up by saying one thing or another, like, "Oh my God, my kids would love you," or trying to clean a guy's shirt off, like, "This is how you'd fix this stain," just like giving hints that of course she is a mom, like not taking her wedding ring off. But the only thing I don't buy about that is if Mila Kunis was legitimately hitting on you, I don't care who you are, you'd probably forgive all the things that she's saying for the fact that it's Mila Kunis and she's super attractive. But that would be my only gripe about the movie. So go out, check out Bad Moms. I strongly recommend it. Like you see, if you like Deadpool, if you like The Hangover, then you're going to love this type of humor. You're going to love this type of movie. It's also got some heart, pulls at your heartstrings there. When kids yell at their parents in movies for like being, like we said, the title of Bad Moms is they're just being naughty, but Bad Moms is like she calls her a bad mom, and you're horrible at your job. But when you're doing the best that you can, and you have a child that lashes out at their parents, and so when you see someone's life fall apart, this movie actually does take a moment to let that breathe. So the jokes kind of go away there for about 10 minutes. While she's trying to get things back together, she's trying to figure out, she's going to go through this divorce, is she going to go through with this when her kids leave to go stay with the dad. So with that, the jokes kind of slip away for 10 minutes, but that's okay because the jokes would have taken away from the heart that it's trying to instill in you. And comedy needs heart. They really go hand in hand. So, like I said, Bad Moms, I'm going to give it an A. I cannot believe that I went into this summer comedy. It's stuck right in between here with Ghostbusters, Jason Bourne, Star Trek, these powerhouse, big budget movies. And then you got Bad Moms that kind of sneaks in here. And of all the movies, I think that I have to give that the highest rating of the summer blockbusters so far. So, it delivers on what it promises, and that's all you can ask for. So, go watch Bad Moms, and I'll catch you next time right here on Red Reviews.
What's wrong with being confident? What's wrong with being, what's wrong